everyone, this is Maki. A popularity poll for the Gundam Seed series was recently conducted. The Freedom Gundam won first place in the mobile suit category. It seems that the original Freedom Gundam, which spawned many successors, has become the most popular mobile suit in the Seed series. Today I am going to talk about the weapons of the Gundams that appear in the movies. This includes spoilers for the movies. If you want to watch the movies without prior information, I recommend to watch this program after watching the movies. I'll discuss the weapons that play a crucial role in the final battles of the movies. It surprised many fans with two types of ultimate techniques of the strongest freedom. One weapon generates lightning from the entire body to attack surrounding enemies. And then there's a weapon called disruptor that fires from the forehead. The novel version of Seed Freedom has been released. What do these weapons do? Let's check and analyze the contents of the novel. By the way, I have an urgent request for you. The Mighty Strike Freedom Gundam is fighting in your city. A request has been made to use the disruptor, but Law's crying is cooking and can't respond. Instead, I want you to grant the permission. The subscribe button on your screen is the disruptor use permission button. Press it now to support Kira. The fate of Earth is in your fingertips. First, let's talk about the attack that releases lightning from the whole body. This weapon becomes available when the Strike Freedom Gundam Type 2 is combined with the Proud Defender. It's a powerful weapon that gives the impression of destroying all enemies in the vicinity. However, there are objects that are not destroyed. The novel explains this as follows. Missiles explode, Draggoons fall, and battleships cease to function. It does not describe what happens to the people inside the battleships. In the Seed series, it's common for humans to explode when hit by high-energy attacks. But would Kira or Lars use a weapon that causes such results? Of course, they might decide to use it in an emergency. If they lose the final battle, the citizens of Earth will be massacred. It seems that we will have to wait for more details on this matter. Still, it's very effective. The rockets exploding means that their fuel or explosives are detonating. The falling Draggoons indicate that it doesn't affect the propellant. Since Draggoons are unmanned, destroying them should be no problem. Or maybe Black Knight Squad colors Draggoon flies without fuel. Chaos Draggoon emits red light as it flies. It may use a propulsion method that doesn't rely on fuel, similar to the Voiture Lumiere. This reasoning could explain why they fall when they receive the lightning that detonates the fuel and explosives. However, it's unclear why the battleships only stop working instead of exploding. Battleships are loaded with a lot of fuel and explosives. Why didn't they explode? Did Law somehow affect them with her occult abilities? Director Fukuda mentioned a code during a stage introduction. A code is deliberately portrayed as psychic. Yoshiyuki Tomino's nudies are not psychics, and I wanted to portray a code as a distinctly different entity, so I portrayed her as a psychic. Lars instantly identifies and focuses on a large number of targets. She can not only determine the target, but also give different effects to each target. Gundam Zabania of Gundam 00 performs a similar attack. The support robot Harold locks onto targets, and the pilot Lokan Stratos quickly decides in what order should I attack the enemies and what weapon to use on each before firing. Lyle Dynandy and Lars Klein could be considered the top two quick shooters in the Gundam series. What is the principle behind the body-wide lightning attack? It's a rather complex concept, but there is an explanation in the novel. Nash-up particles generated by the Prow Defender envelop the area around the mighty strike Freedom. These Nash-up particles absorb electromagnetic waves of a certain wavelength and generate heat. The heat generated creates an electric field, and the movement of electrons creates an electric current. By intercepting attacks, it creates a counterattack against the enemy. The name Defender comes from this function. It seems reasonable to interpret that a barrier-like effect is created by intercepting beam weapons and the like. Beam weapons in the Seed series travel at sublight speeds. Therefore, they hit before missiles do. It seems that missiles are destroyed by the barrier created by beam weapons. Does this mean that missiles or metallic bullets could penetrate the Prow Defender's defenses? It might be very difficult to prepare bullets that would completely drain the energy from the phase shift armor. Melee combat seems to be the only countermeasure. However, considering that the pilot is Kira Yamato, it also seems very difficult to win in close combat. It would be a challenge even for skilled individuals, like Athran Shinofi, and sure to get close. It seems that Dolphy made the right decision to choose melee combat in the final battle of the movie. Of course, whether victory is possible is another question. A less noticeable element is that the heat generated by the Defender does not seem to reach the vicinity of the mighty strike Freedom. The fact that Lars Klein is unharmed in space suggests that the heat is not reaching her. The fact that this effect occurs even when Lars is not in the cockpit suggests that it may be independent of Ako's abilities. Of course, there are scenes in the Gundam series where the Psycho Gundam and Unicorn Gundam operate based on the pilot's mental waves, even when there is no pilot in the cockpit. What kind of weapon is the Disruptor? Its official name, the Convergent Heavy Nuclear Beam Cannon Disruptor, has been revealed through plastic models and other media. In the final battle, it was fired at 80% power, slicing through and destroying the space fortress Messiah and the great Draggoon known as the Ziggurat. The novel mentions due to its excessive destructive power, Kiro set it so that he couldn't use it without Lars' approval. The explanation of the Disruptor is also quite complex. It fires an invisible blade that causes atoms to disintegrate and suppresses nuclear fission. This blade cuts through the dimensions themselves. When the Disruptor is fired, the colors of the screen are inverted in a special effect. A similar color scheme is used in the scenes where the Black Knight Squad is in action. This means that the effect is designed to show the viewer light that cannot actually be seen with the naked eye. Thus, it appears that enemy pilots on the battlefield are left in a state of not understanding what happened. After destroying Messiah, the Disruptor is also used against Black Knight Squad Care. This attack destroyed one of Care's arms and wings. Perhaps Sophie avoided a direct hit on the cockpit by reading Kiro's mind. The Disruptor, which does not require the arm-swinging motion of a beam saber, is an extremely difficult weapon to counter. Even with Dolphy, most pilots would not be able to handle it if all they could do was avoid a direct hit. There is a possibility that the mighty strike Freedom will be equipped with a newest weapon, the Draggoon System. This speculation is based on an interview with Yuya Fujiki, who was in charge of the planning of the Chogokin figure series, and on design images published in brochures. Fujiki talked about the structure of the Prow Defender as follows. The Prow Defender is divided into the main body, the white wings, and inner Draggoon parts. We apply the gold coating to the Draggoon section. Of course, these comments are based on settings that have not yet been fully confirmed. It's possible that when the official settings are revealed, it may turn out that it doesn't have the Draggoon system. Is the gold part really the Draggoon system? We might be able to see it with gold Draggoons in games or other appearances. It's also interesting to note that Kira was involved in the design of the disruptor. When the Strike Freedom Gundam Spec 2 was handed over by Elika, Kira seemed surprised. It would be interesting to see this explode in spin-offs or other media. Let me give you my personal interpretation. Could Kira have implemented the design of the disruptor before the Freedom Heist incident? And then the disruptor-equipped Strike Freedom was destroyed by the Black Knight Squad. Regretting that the fearsome weapon of the disruptor had fallen into the hands of terrorists, Kira began designing the Prow Defender to maximize its defensive capabilities. The Prow Defender's design was based on the additional wings designed for use with the disruptor. If you think about it, the disruptor can only be used when the Prow Defender is equipped, and the Prow Defender was designed to be equipped on the Rising Freedom, and Kira didn't know that the Strike Freedom Gundam was being repaired. Isn't it possible to satisfy the element? Of course, this is just my personal speculation at this point. What do you think? Thank you for watching the show until the end. I hope to see you in the next episode.